Hey mates! It has been quite a while since I made my last post. I do upload shorter videos every now and then, but it's been a while since I've made a proper full-length post, I guess. I was not expecting that last one to get the amount of views that it did, but thank you. I loved responding to people's comments. I loved talking about a silly little hobby slash lifestyle that I do. It's absolutely insane to me. Thank you guys. Your support means so much. Speaking of which, speaking of that lifestyle, I want to talk about Yumeshipping again. Specifically, people's perceptions of Yumeshipping. Now, I have made videos like that in the past, sort of. I've talked about what it's like to date someone while Yumeshipping, or what people think when you Yumeship, I guess. But I feel like the general consensus is that a lot of people who don't know much about this lifestyle, hobby, whatever it is to you, they don't take it seriously and they find it kind of weird, maybe even kind of cringe. Which I am not going to say that I am not cringe, because there's absolutely things that I do that for sure are. But I definitely wanted to talk about why people think that self-shipping slash Yumeshipping in particular is cringe, and why I am completely okay with that. I'm also in a completely different room, but that's fine because the sun is in my face and I think it looks kind of nice. This is the outfit for today, by the way. All right, let's start. Now, one of the reasons people find self-shipping, Yumeshipping kind of crazy is how much time we spend on our Yumeships. Like, we can get really, really creative with that, which I love. I love seeing people's art of their Yumeship. I love seeing people's, made up stories about how they met, what they do, like little AUs. I just find it so cool and so fun that we're able to come up with things like that just because of how we feel about a character that's not even real. And some people have an issue with it for some reason. They are, I guess, in my opinion, I think they're just really intimidated by creativity. They hate to see somebody thrive. They hate to see a creative person thrive. And I'm sure some of the art that I have made can come across as sort of cringe because it is me and a fictional character. But I don't know, I find it very beautiful. And I feel as though my art has definitely improved, so that's probably something people don't like to hear about. The sense that you get better at something because of something so cringe, I guess. And people can be jealous of other people, so if they notice you getting better at something because of Yumeshipping or whatever, they're gonna find a reason to not like it. And I go crazy when it comes to the art I make. Not only do I just draw me and my fictional man, Toki Wartooth, but I also draw inspired by different movies I like. It could be album covers, posters, literally anything. It can be something well-known or something a little more niche, maybe a movie that my friends haven't seen. I just go absolutely crazy and I have the best time with it. Now, another thing that people might not like about self-shippers is the fact that we seem to prioritize these fictional characters so much, and some of us even prioritize them over real people, depending on who they are. Now, I personally, depending on the situation, I don't see an issue with it. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't see an issue with it at all. I mean, it's not my business, first of all. But people can be mean, people can be manipulative, people can just not get it or truly understand you. I'm sure a lot of us have felt taken advantage of. A lot of us have felt, I don't know, just not great by the people in our lives. And also, when it comes to getting into a relationship, for example, it is best not to be super attached to this person in case of something they might do later, and also you're just getting to know them and you don't want to get all crazy in the beginning. And a way that a lot of us seem to protect ourselves through is by self-shipping. We spend so much time with these fictional characters, drawing them, making little stories about them. And even if there are real people, maybe some friends that we don't particularly like, or a partner that just doesn't seem to get it, when they don't like it and when they act a certain way about what is essentially a hobby or a lifestyle for many people, if they're making fun of it, if they're weirded out or just talking bad about it, I feel like that's kind of a sign. You should sort of decide what you want to do next. Do you want to keep this friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever? Or do you want to move on and feel sort of saved by this fictional character, this self-ship? And I guess the only other thing I can think about is self-shipping is cringe as hell. And people may make assumptions for it. They might think that you can't find anyone in real life, you have a weird mental illness, whatever the hell it is. But bottom line is, no matter what you have, we're still doing this. We are still feeling very attached towards a fictional character. And some people get really crazy over it, which I'm not going to discuss here, but I'm sure you know a couple. And it's not a particularly common hobby. I mean, yes, there are celebrity crushes. There are people who have, what is it called, hear me outs, or they've had a crush on a fictional character when they were younger, but they're not really feeling that way to the extent that I and a lot of people I know are. So when it's different from what they're used to, they can feel kind of weirded out by it. A little change of scenery because my family just came home and I feel goofy about making these types of videos, no matter what it is. So we're gonna do it here for the rest of the video. But yeah, even though people find self-shipping, Yumeship to be really cringy, they don't get it. Some might even make fun of people for it, which, like, it's not your life, who cares? No one's hurting anyone. But I hope to continue doing this lifestyle for as long as I can. I've met so many great people through it. As I've said earlier, I feel like my art has improved because of it. And I even met a certain someone who also happens to like the same exact character as I do. But what else? Definitely, I feel like storytelling has definitely gotten more interesting. Like, I'm always coming up with stories that insert me and a fictional character. And maybe I can even replace those characters with something else and make a completely original story. Like, I don't know, I just feel much more creative when I'm openly self-shipping, when I'm openly making these silly videos, when I'm posting art quite literally everywhere. I want to post Tokiella anywhere I can, to where no matter where you look, you're always going to see it, you're always going to be surrounded by it, which I think is pretty sick. And I have other hobbies as well. I'm sure you can assume some of them, but I just hold self-shipping so close to me. I think it's so important to how I am, and I feel as though things would be very different if I didn't start doing it. Like, what kind of friends would I have made had I not posted about some fictional character? What kind of conflicts would I have had or not had I posted that art? How would I draw myself? How would I draw other people? How would I tell stories? How would I just do things? I just feel as though this silly hobby slash lifestyle, even though it can be pretty cringe at times to not only people outside of the hobby, but people who actively practice it, even though it can be pretty cringe and stupid sometimes, I just love it. Like, you can never make me hate such a fun and sweet thing. I don't know, guys. And I hope to continue doing it for, like I said, as long as I can. I hope to continue making really silly videos about not just this, but other things. But I'm so glad that people seem to show an interest in my silly self-shipping videos. And another thing, people have told me that because I'm so open about it, they want to try doing it too, which I think is awesome, because if they see more people doing it, they're going to want to do it too. And me personally, I will say that I don't really interact with anybody in the self-shipping community. I only really talk to the same 4 or 5 people, I'm gonna be honest, because a lot of you guys are kind of mean. But I just think making that sort of impact, just being so open about things you enjoy and being so, not afraid to be silly. I think that's such a cool thing that people definitely need more often. People need to see that so that they can start doing it too and not feel ashamed of what they like. And that exactly is why people will probably never take me seriously as a self-shipper, Yumeshipper, whatever you want to call it. But I am completely okay with that. And I'd definitely like to know your thoughts as well. I really enjoyed the discussion in the comments on the last video, and I'd just love to have even more discussions and silly little talks again. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you soon.